Most coaches will tell you when you hit your 40s and 50s, you need to back off the volume, you need to back off the intensity, and you need to rest more. And I'm here to tell you, I've spent my 50s proving that theory wrong. I'm going to present you with some data and some theories as to why I think I've been able to get around that age barrier, okay? Now, first of all, let me start by saying, I'm not saying that you can't run a marathon on low volume or low intensity. I think everybody is an individual. The point of this video is to tell the over 40s and 50s that if you enjoy running, you like big volume, you like to push yourself, that you can still do so and still improve your times and get better and better and better. Okay, it's not the end of the road. You don't have to hang up the trainers. You don't have to back off everything. You just have to do it maybe slightly differently. What I'm going to present to you today is data from 5 marathons pre-COVID and 5 marathons post-COVID. Now, the data is going to be averages of the 5 marathons pre-COVID where I trained for 16 weeks with a goal time. So these aren't the ones that I've paced, or these aren't the ones that I just kind of went around for a bit of crack. These are goal marathons. And then the 5 post-COVID marathons where I had higher volume, higher intensity, and better times. So another thing to keep in mind is I've run dozens of marathons. These aren't the only 10 marathons that I've run. And so it's not like this is coming from a very small selection of data. I've got 44 marathons under my belt, and this is a selection of the 10 most relevant marathons as I've upped my volume. Okay, and I've gotten into my 50s. The data from the 5 marathons pre-COVID looked like an average volume for the 16-week block of 638 miles. That converts to 1,027 kilometers. Okay, that averages to 40 miles per week or 64 kilometers. The max volume, the average max volume for these 5 marathons was 61 miles or 98 kilometers. The average finish time for those marathons was 3 hours and 11 minutes. One thing to keep in mind is I also experienced more injuries in this period of time, pre-COVID races, lower volume races. And I have a theory why I have fewer injuries now, even though my volume is up. And I'll have that at the end of the video, so stick around. So that's the data from the 5 marathons pre-COVID. When I say pre-COVID, these are the last 5 marathons before COVID shut everything down. And now the post-COVID marathon. So this is from the year 2022 on. The average for the post-COVID marathons was 839 miles or 1,350 kilometers. So that's an addition of 200 miles over 16 weeks. That's an average of 52 miles per week or 84 kilometers. The average max volume week was 78 or 126 kilometers. So that's 16 miles more for a peak week. And my average finish time was 2:57. That's an average of 14 minutes better with the higher volume. So this to me is proof that when we get into our 40s and 50s, we still can put in hard work, we can still get better. And as a matter of fact, I ran my fastest marathon at the age of 55. Okay, so it's not the end of the road. For a lot of us, this can be the beginning of the road, the beginning of our best marathons. For all the over 40s marathon runners, whether you're running your first marathon, you've been chasing a time, you've been dealing with injuries, I have a 100% money back guarantee coaching program for you. It's called the Guaranteed Marathon Result, and I can offer you this with confidence. It's a program that I've been using for years. I just ran my 44th marathon at the age of 57. I ran my fastest marathon at the age of 55. This system works, keeps you injury free, keeps you strong, keeps you running, keeps you enjoying the sport. I have a few openings available, so look me up on jmruncoach.com. I have a few other openings for my other coaching packages as well. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope to be hearing from you soon. Okay, here are some of my theories as to why I've had fewer injuries and I've ran better. Okay, during COVID in 2021, I tore both adductors. Okay, I missed 10 months of running. During COVID, there was very little training. I had very little strength and conditioning. I wasn't doing any focus training as far as running goes. My nutrition was off. My weight was higher. There was a lot of things that went into the two torn adductors, right? Ultimately, after coming out of COVID and having the two torn adductors in 2021, missing 10 months of running, I was very focused on making sure that I didn't experience that again. So what was the big difference there? Having both adductors healed up, ready to start running again, and getting back into marathon training. I had a lot more focus on strength and conditioning, okay, and yoga and stretching. Those two things were integral in keeping me injury free and allowing me to add volume, okay, because I missed so much training during COVID, during the years 2020, 2021. I really needed that back in my life. And that's where ultimately where the more volume came from. I personally really enjoy long runs. I enjoy pushing myself and training hard. And having missed so much time, I was anxious to get back into it and just keep up going hard. But I did focus on strength and conditioning and yoga. Okay. The other thing is I was coming out of COVID. I focused a lot more on nutrition. I needed to get myself back into a good place, and my nutrition was better, and I lost a good bit of weight. That takes the stress off of the joints, takes the stress off of the bones, takes the stress off of the muscles, okay? Makes running easier, and it makes running more efficient and faster, okay? The heart rate's coming down. A lot of things coincide with a lower body weight. So that was a benefit. The other thing that helped my times was the experience, okay? We always get experience from each marathon that we do. And so, yeah, just had more marathons under my belt. You know, some of these post-COVID marathons I had run before. So it's always a slight advantage to run a course that you know. And so that was a benefit as well. So that was the other thing. But I think most importantly, and I don't think I can overstate this, the biggest change I made in my life post-COVID was I I needed to fix my sleep habits. I I had suffered years of insomnia, and we always say that the only training that is good training is the training that we recover from, and sleep is hugely important when it comes to recovery and adaptation. That's where it all happens, right? So I went from, maybe 4 or 5 hours of poor quality sleep a night to getting 6 to 7 to 8 hours of high quality sleep. Fixing my sleep was probably the biggest thing that I did for the quality of my life, but it also had the biggest impact on my training. I'm not saying that the higher volume and the higher intensity didn't play a part. I'm sure it did. You know, years and years and years of data has shown, the best runners in the world, they're running massive volumes, right? Putting in a good bit of intensity. And it's not always that 80-20 split, although the more volume you have, the more space you have to put that 80-20 split, but that's a different video. For me, I enjoyed the big miles. I enjoy the intensity, and I was able to do that, and I'm still able to do that because I focus on good sleep good nutrition, strength and conditioning, and yoga, right? So those are the things that has really extended my quality of running, quality of life. And the message is, you're in your 40s and 50s. Don't feel like you have to hang up the trainers. Don't feel like you have to back off of the training, have extra rest days. A recovery day can be an easy run. Yeah, by all means, we do need to take days off, but everybody does, not just us over 40s and 50s. Everybody benefits from it. And I'm not saying we need to run 7 days a week. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is we don't have to hang it up. We don't have to back off. We can still push ahead and we can still improve. That's all I have to say about that. If you have any thoughts, any comments, any questions, by all means, drop me a message here. I'll get back to you. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. Hit that bell button and get notified when new videos are coming out. I would greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All right, happy running. Enjoy your training.